Hey y'all, it's Jxmyhighroller. Welcome back to another video. Today, we're gonna be reacting to a Jxmyhighroller video. I don't think I've ever reacted to a Jxmyhighroller video, but we'll be starting the series of watching Jxmyhighroller videos. So let's get into it. This video is called "This Fan Really Thought He Had a Chance." I believe it's about Victor Wembanyama, judging by the thumbnail, but let's get into it. He posted it, what, 3 hours ago, so it's a new video. Let's get into it. He doesn't even look pissed. He looks excited. Hottest NBA take. Kerr and Pods are romantically involved. No way he's still getting NBA minutes. The last 5 number one overall picks. Now that's actually true, bro. Bro, Alex Sarr. Well, wait, guy that got drafted to the Hawks? No, it's not Alex Sarr. Bro, what is his name? I think it was the 2023 draft, bro. I don't know who the guy. Who the fuck is that guy? I have no idea who that guy is. Yo, that guy that got drafted to the Hawks, I think 3 years ago. I don't know who the fuck that is. Jokic is a flop and plays dirty, but no one cares because he's the best white guy in 40 years. I guess everyone obsessively talks about Shay's aura, just thinks he's sexy and is too cowardly to say so. Okay. Prime Carmelo Anthony was better than prime LeBron James. Okay. Steph Loki got lucky with his career. Okay. That's not really a hot take. These takes aren't really that hot. I can't lie. You're not. Pack your bags, Draymond. Nah, but bro, Stephen Curry's not even fucking playing. What the fuck is he doing?
The NBA regular season is quickly coming to a close.
Yo, I love this shit, bro.
We've got a fresh new batch of hot takes to look at today. The good ones, the bad ones, and the downright atrocious.
Say word.
Today's
Ad placement, W ad placement, W ad placement, W ad placement.
And the scorching hot takes are not slowing down anytime soon. So let's take a look at some of the hottest takes from around the league this season. Now our first take comes from a fan who says the average Joe
could average 2 points a game at least if they played every minute of the game. Okay, that's not really wrong. That's kind of truthful. I don't know.
Could average
I mean, yeah, 48 minutes and you can't score 2 points? Fuck. That's kind of a skill issue, bro.
Of every game. And this specific genre of take, where regular people overestimate their abilities, is really fascinating to me. Not because it's right, but because of how blissfully unaware it is. If you have never played against a pro player, let alone an NBA player, I can understand how you might think under the right circumstances, if things fall in your favor, if you get lucky enough, you might be able to average 2 points a game in the NBA as a
Nah, but he's not really wrong though, bro. 48 minutes, bro? Like,
a few possessions against someone who plays basketball for a living.
No, but bro, all you have to do is just foul bait, bro. Bro, either you foul bait, or you're like say the team knows you're good at free throws, right? So they sub you in, like into the games that where like, oh my god, like we need to actually sink our free throws to win the game. You can be either one of those two guys. So basically, a foul baiter or a person who's literally dedicated to shooting free throws in the clutch, bro. I mean, you can actually average 2 points, bro. I mean, bro, if you play 48 minutes and you can't average 2 points, bro, then, I mean, I know my ego's high, but, like, come on, bro. Like, shit.
Astonishing just how quickly you realize you stand absolutely no chance whatsoever.
I mean, I stand no chance, but I can get to the free throw line.
2 points a game, he would struggle to score 2 points over the course of the entire season. Forget scoring. Try getting an open look. Try getting the ball out of your hands
Bro,
without getting it
I think my
stopped.
ego is
Matter
just
of
too high,
fact,
man. What the
there are
fuck? Cause
NBA
like,
players who don't average 2 points a
bro,
game. Watch
this doesn't even feel so. I mean, okay, like, yo, I know, like, bro. Thing is, like, the thing about me, like, I'm not even like a egotistical person. Like, I'm actually pretty humble, bro. But like, bro, if you can't average 2 points, bro, I say as long as you're like a really good free throw shooter, cause like not everyone's a good free throw shooter, but if you're like actually pretty good at doing at shooting free throws, bro, you can definitely average 2 points per game. Easily,
any
bro.
example
Not
of a
easily, but
regular guy playing an NBA
most
player,
likely,
and
I
it
guess.
almost looks like they're playing 2 different sports. Just the other day, Barstool Sports challenged their employees to play former pro players in a game of basketball. Now, most of these pro players were not NBA guys, but rather really good college players who played overseas, with the addition of Tyler Hansbrough and a 50-year-old Jason Williams.
God
the
damn.
challenge started as a normal game of 5-on-5, but every time the Barstool guys lost, they were allowed to add an additional player to their team. And
Damn.
it quickly went from 5-on-5 to 5-on-6 to 5-on-7. Take a wild guess at how many regular guys it took to beat the pros. 9, 10?
Nah,
Nope.
no way.
It took 15
Holy
Joes to
shit.
beat the pros. Look at this game.
That's
this is a mess.
crazy.
They've literally stormed the court. But it gets even
15
worse,
against 5 is
because
crazy.
not only did the Joes get to add 10 additional players on the court, the only way they even had a chance to take down the pros was to start taking away players from the pro team. So by the time the
Golly.
Joes finally won, it was a game of 15 regular guys
Holy
against
shit.
2 former pros. Now,
Bro,
you
I don't
might
know,
think,
bro.
"I'll
These
just
average
put up
Joes
some
must be
shots,
ass."
foul bait, run the gambit of gimmicks to game my way to 2 measly points a night, and try as much as you want. You're not getting those 2 points. Imagine what
Bro,
a Sar
it just doesn't
Thompson
feel
would do
like
to the
so
average
hard
Joe,
to do, though.
even
I
if
don't
this
know.
person has basketball experience. In what world does the average NBA player not smother them into an errant shot or a turnover every single time they touch the ball? Just get open and heave up a few long balls. One of them's got to go in. Get open? What do you mean get open? You think you can create space on Alex Caruso? Celtics point guard
Yeah,
Peyton
I
Pritchard
can't lie,
spent
that's
his
not
first few
happening.
seasons in the league, averaging
But I can
about
get to the
6
free throw
points a
line,
game.
probably.
In fact, throughout those first few seasons, he had countless games with 2 points or less, despite playing solid minutes. You want to know
Golly.
what a player like this translates to when he's not
Okay, maybe
playing
I'm wrong,
NBA-level
bro.
defense? 92 points.
Oh
A
my
player
God.
who was struggling to put up 6
What?
a game in the NBA is Michael Jeffrey Jordan against everyone else.
That is
Even on
actually
his very
crazy. What
best
the
day,
hell?
an average Joe
Whoa.
is still infinitely worse than the worst NBA player on his worst day.
92
And there are
points?
many NBA players who struggle
my
to put
God.
points on the board. As the wise Brian Scalabrine once said, "I'm closer to LeBron than you are to me." And yet, no matter how much time has passed, no matter
That's
how many
wild.
times this is proven to be true, it is still difficult for some to truly grasp just how big that gap really is.
Shit.
Under no circumstances would the average Joe put up 2
Okay, maybe
points
I'm
a
wrong,
game
y'all.
in the
Shit.
NBA.
Maybe that's
This
a
next
really
take
hot
comes
take,
from a
actually.
fan who says he is not impressed by Wemby.
Okay,
And
yo, I
Victor's
hate seeing this
only
shit on
good
TikTok because
he's
people are,
tall.
like just be
And
rage
what's
baiting,
odd
bro.
about this take, besides
Like-
the fact that it's brain rot, is that up until
See,
a couple months ago,
exactly,
I never
see?
really saw anyone say this. For the last 2 years, everyone was unanimously
Literally brain rot,
enamored
bro.
by his freakish size and abilities. But the more Wemby develops and the more popular he becomes to the masses, the more I see this take. To the
Bro,
point where this
every
is now
time-
the default comment on any Wemby highlight. And it could not be more wrong.
Bro, every time someone gets too good for others people liking, for like others like people's like liking and shit like that, bro. Once a person gets too good, here comes the haters, bro. Every fucking time, bro. Say in the next 5 years, right? Someone becomes a better shooter than Stephen Curry. Say like, bro, this guy averages like 7 threes per game. They'll be like, oh, he's not Curry though. Bro, he's playing better than Curry. What are you talking about, bro? Just because he's... Bro, I've never seen a 7'5" guy pull from half before. Have you seen Yao Ming pull from half? I have never seen Yao Ming pull from half before. I've seen KD pull from half. That's probably the tallest person I've seen pull from half. I mean, when I'm saying pull from half, I mean like, yo, they actually like pull from half. Not like, oh, once in like every 500 games they pull from half. No, 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 no. I mean like once in like every 10 games they probably pull from half. That's what Wemby does, right? Bro, I've never seen a 7-footer pull from half before. The best shooter before Wemby was what? Joel Embiid. Um, Joel Embiid and Porzingis and Karl Anthony Towns. Bro, they probably shot like 35% from the three, 32% from the three. Like, bro, that ain't shit, bro. Like,
people say if Wemby was 6'4" instead of 7'4", he wouldn't be in the NBA.
no shit.
Well, yeah. If any player,
Like, that's what I'm trying to say. That makes no sense.
his most valuable asset as a player
Yo.
is his size and his length.
That's the
But
dumbest
it
shit
is
I've heard in
not
my
the
life,
only
bro.
reason why
Like,
he's
bro,
good.
like, that's like saying, oh, if I wasn't smart, I wouldn't get into fucking Harvard. Like, duh. The fuck?
If height alone was the
Like,
biggest
what?
factor in basketball, the NBA would be filled exclusively with 7-footers. If being extremely tall guaranteed success, Taco Fall would be dominating the league right now, and not
Bro,
playing
Taco
in
Fall
the
is just fucking slow as shit, that's why.
All-Star game.
He's not even that bad, bro.
Ironically, this take is actually the opposite of the truth.
Bro,
Some
Wemby's just a
fans
tall
aren't
KD, bro, I
impressed
can't
because
lie.
he's tall, when in reality they should be impressed that he can move the way he does and maneuver with the best athletes in the world in spite of being this tall. I may be wrong, but I don't recall Yao Ming throwing it off the glass.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Also don't
Bro,
remember
everything
the
he's
time
saying that
throwing
I'm
a
saying,
new
bro.
ball nutmegged
Like,
a player in transition. And I definitely don't think I've ever seen Boban Marjanovic get a tween step back three plus the foul.
I don't even think I've seen
Victor
Karl
consistently
Anthony
makes
Towns do
plays
that
are
shit, bro.
only possible
fuck?
because he has an 8-foot wingspan, but that doesn't make them any less impressive. To discredit these plays because of Wemby's height would be like saying Shaq's game wasn't impressive because he was bigger and stronger than everyone else.
That's just,
Saying
I
Michael
know.
Jordan's acrobatics around the rim weren't impressive because he could jump higher than everyone else.
That's,
Or
yeah,
saying
exactly. That's the
Steph is
stupidest
only
shit
good
ever.
because he can shoot threes better than anyone else. Yeah, that's kind of the point.
Like,
Players have some sort
bro,
of
man, these
built-in
takes be
advantage
so
to their
ass,
game.
bro.
It's one of
Trust
the
me, bro.
reasons why they're
TikTok,
so
bro.
great. Victor's
People are
advantage
brain dead.
is that he's a giant, and he uses that advantage about as good as anyone ever has. If you think height is an unfair advantage that makes things unimpressive, basketball probably isn't the sport for you. Now, this next take comes from a fan who says Luka Doncic peaked early and that we've already seen the best version of him.
I guess.
But may actually be true.
I mean,
Luka just
he's
turned
always been
27
good.
years
That's
old.
why. So
He's
his
in
peak
eighth
isn't really
season.
as
Historically Luka should be hitting his peak right
impressive.
about now. But if we have already seen the best Luka has to offer, then his timeline is about the same as most greats. Unlike most players, Luka started playing professional basketball when he was just 16 years old. In terms of playing at the highest level, physically and mentally, Luka's on his 11th season as a pro. And when you watch him play, there are moments when you can see the toll of all of those extra miles. Playing against grown men before he could drive a car certainly gave him an edge over other prospects, but it also meant Luka was a polished player, closer to his ceiling coming into the league in comparison to other young, raw players. If we look at Luka's progression throughout the years in terms of something like estimated plus minus and compare him to other all-time greats,
He's not getting better because he's just better,
pretty
literally.
similar to the others. Specifically, LeBron and Luka had extremely similar trajectories for the first half decade of their careers. But overall, it seems between years 6 and 8 is where these guys are hitting their statistical peak. And then they hold it for a few seasons before settling into a role that's less volatile but more sustainable long term. It's hard to believe, but Luka is approaching a decade in the NBA. If what we've seen from him is the best we're ever going to get, that actually wouldn't be out of the norm. Most players who peak extremely high reach that peak a lot sooner than you'd think. By his 7th season in the league, Steph Curry was already a champion with 2 MVPs.
Yep.
LeBron's 8th season in the league was the Dallas Finals, where he was already in Miami with 2 MVPs. Season 8 for Kawhi Leonard was capped off with a championship and a Finals MVP. By the end of their 8th season, most all-time greats have played their best basketball. Based
Yep.
off of what we've seen and where Luka is at specifically in his career, I don't think it's crazy to say
His
we
team
may
has
have
just been
already witnessed
ass,
Luka at his
bro. I
absolute
mean,
peak.
he has
But
one
that
finals
doesn't
appearance, but that's
necessarily
not
mean
good
he
enough,
peaked
bro.
early. I think it
Jimmy
means
Butler has
sometimes
more.
we
Fuck.
forget just how long he's been in the league and just how quickly great players ascend. Luka was so good and his game was so mature early in his career that our expectations of him were nothing short of being the best player in the world by now. An MVP, a ring, some sort of evidence that matches those early expectations. But the truth is, we may have already seen Luka at his apex. But that doesn't mean it was premature, and it definitely doesn't mean he won't meet the expectations that we've set for him. Now, our last take comes from a fan who says LeBron James playing longer has actually hurt his GOAT case.
What?
And
That makes
although
no
I don't
sense.
agree, I do understand
He's got more
where this argument
achievements.
is coming from. The longer
I
LeBron
guess.
plays, the further removed we become from the prime LeBron we once knew. This will be the first season he won't make an All-NBA team in 2 decades. He hasn't competed.
That
for a
doesn't make
title in 3
sense.
years. His efforts
Bro, fam, it's like saying that doesn't even make sense, bro. Oh my god. Bro, fam. LeBron James can play next year and not make the All-Star team, but he still made it 22 times. That doesn't matter. He still made the All-Star team 22 times. Even if he plays next year and he doesn't make the All-Star team, he still made it 22 times. Just because LeBron didn't average 25 points this year, he did it probably 15 times. Like, it doesn't matter, bro, at all. Like,
come and go
what
on
the
a nightly
fuck?
basis, and at this point, most, if not all of his accomplishments are longevity related. Eventually, for some
That's
fans,
not even
this
fucking
will
true.
be the
That's
LeBron
not-
they remember.
that's not-
The
that's
old
not true.
LeBron who plays
Like, at all.
lackluster defense and cannot carry a team to a title. Where some fans give credit to LeBron for playing longer than anyone else ever has while remaining one of the best players in the league. Others are not impressed. It's a simple case of swings and misses for some fans. For every season that passes, LeBron's 4 rings look less and less impressive. 4 rings in 17 seasons.
Bro, if you have to
was
verse,
the
like,
championship,
the best
that
teams
is
in the
still
world,
better
then,
than 4 rings in 23 seasons. The extra All-Star and All-NBA selections and points don't really add to his GOAT case, but the mediocre performances and effort that comes and goes certainly subtracts from it. At least
Bro,
in
Michael
my
Jordan was getting
perspective.
swept by the
It's like if
fucking
instead of retiring after a 6th
by the
championship
Celtics,
in
bro.
1998, Michael Jordan kept playing for 7 more seasons and slowly regressed into a player that wasn't nearly as great as he once was. There really isn't much to gain from it, but there also isn't much to lose. And that's where I disagree with this take. Because Michael Jordan did keep playing after his last championship, and those later seasons were underwhelming to his standards. And not once did anyone hold that against him.
That's
when
what I'm trying to
making
say,
his
bro.
GOAT case.
That's what I'm
Jordan
trying to say,
stays with
bro.
the
That
Wizards
makes no
for
fucking
a
sense.
victory lap, icing on the cake with very little expectations. Right now, LeBron is in his Wizards years. Any expectation of him to look
That's what I'm
like or
tr-
produce at
Oh my
prime
God.
GOAT levels
Everything he's saying,
is
I'm
not
saying.
only unrealistic, it is an unjust standard that no one else has ever been held to. Now, you could argue that the natural endpoint to LeBron's legacy, a moment where the story could have wrapped up perfectly, would have been at the end of the 2024 season. At that point,
What?
he was 39 years
Oh,
old. He had already become
yeah.
the NBA's
true.
all-time leading scorer, had just completed another All-NBA caliber season.
Yeah,
had
I
a
feel like
championship with 3
I feel like him playing
franchises, and
too
shortly after
longer
that,
just made it
lead Team USA to an Olympic gold
kind of
medal
iffy, you know what I'm trying
in
to say?
heroic, poetic fashion. If there was a storybook ending for LeBron, that was probably it.
Yeah,
Off into
yeah,
the
he
sunset,
was, it was.
go
I'll
on a
admit that, I'll
career,
admit that.
Leave the league and the fans on a high note with a gold medal and a shiny new scoring record.
He's true,
But
yeah,
instead,
yeah.
LeBron kept playing. And I
Yeah,
think
that's
time
right.
will prove this decision has not hurt his legacy. There is an entirely new generation
That's
of
what I'm trying to
players in the
say,
league right now who get to match up and play against LeBron. A new generation of NBA fans who are able to watch LeBron firsthand and even witnessing this admittedly watered down version of the once most dominant player in the world are convinced they are watching the greatest player to ever live. LeBron playing longer only hurts his GOAT case if you still expect him to play like the GOAT as a 41-year-old in his 23rd season. which
23
just as
seasons is
ridiculous
crazy, I
as
can't
this
lie.
take. But let me know what you think. Share your hot
Yeah,
takes
but
in the
he really
comments
did
below.
not need to
And
play
as
23
always,
seasons.
hop
I
on
understand
to the
his take, but his take it like you have to expand on your take. You can't just put one sentence like that's a statement. That's not really like a real opinion. But if y'all want more reaction videos, let me know down in the comments and shit. I might be reacting to more Jxmyhighroller videos, bro. I can't lie. Okay, yeah, but bro, those takes, there weren't really the best takes, but uh, I'll see you on the next one, and you prosper.